When I first moved to Iraq in the middle of the Iraq War, I thought this place was so destroyed we were going to have to import everything to rebuild the country again. Now, after a decade of working in places like Iraq and Syria and Libya and other places around the world, I realized I was totally wrong. What we need more than anything is local solutions to local problems. When I first moved to Iraq, I met this little girl who needed a life-saving heart surgery. And as we began to try and serve her and these other kids like her who were born waiting for someone to come along and help save their lives, we saw other doctors and nurses come in from Europe and other parts of the world. And while they meant well and tried to save the lives of these kids, every time in the local operating room, they would tell the Iraqis they had to stand on the wall. You couldn't scrub in with them. You couldn't stand at the table with them for fear that you would mess something up. And so they would save lives, but they would leave the country no better off for it. And so we knew we had to do something different if we were going to create local solutions to this local problem. And so we sought to find doctors and nurses who would come in and invite the Iraqis to stand at the operating table with us. Shoulder to shoulder, learning together, imparting knowledge, taking risks to save lives. And it worked. And when ISIS came in 2014 and overran so much of Iraq and Syria and Libya and beyond, we knew that we had new work to do. We had to show up on the front lines of places like Fallujah and Mosul and Aleppo to provide food and water and shelter and all manner of things that people needed to stay alive. And we knew that to do it and to do it well, we weren't going to be able to leave the Iraqis on the wall. We had to invite them in. We had to be together, shoulder to shoulder, going where no one else would go, to love the people that no one else would love. And now today, everything we do as Preemptive Love is about that shoulder to shoulder work with locals. We do it in Iraq, we do it in Syria, we go into hard places together. We design our programs together. We empower people together. Everything is about building up locals, making them better, so that if and when we leave, we are leaving behind real organizations, real community, real institutions that can carry the torch forward and rebuild the country for themselves. These local friends and partners and staff and people that we empower through your small business help, they extend the reach of what we're able to do in any one place and all over the world. They get us into places that we wouldn't be able to get without them, and they help us stay in and do more than we could ever do by ourselves. So when you give, you're giving to locals. You're giving to make sure that you leave something behind. You're giving to make sure that our work, your work, can be in more than one place at once. And you're giving to help them build and us build together with you the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. Thanks for being in this with us.